guys, it's Carrie from the Next 56 Days program, and today we're coming to you from our Thomasville classroom, and we're going to be doing the detox lesson today. Now, detox is very important for our program. If you look back from day one, what we're trying to do is we're going to balance our blood sugars, we're going to detox, lessen inflammation, and then we start to release the weight, okay? It's really hard to do one without the other if you want the best of the benefits, okay? So let's talk about detox today. I'm going to read you the definition here. So what does detox mean? It says a process or period of time in which one abstains from or rids the body of toxins, okay? Now, you may not have even realized this, but when you got on this program and, if you're taking a live class on week 2, that's when we do your first official weigh-in. And you may have noticed that you released a lot of weight. Well, that is great, but what happened? One of the big things is that you started detoxing your body without even knowing it. How did you do that? You took out the processed foods, the chemicals that were in your foods, and your body went, whoa, what you doing to me? And it started to release weight naturally, okay? So this is a very important process for our program. There's some main sources of toxicities that you will see on a daily basis. First one would be chemical. Now, when you think of chemical, you might be thinking of cleaners and things like that, but how often do we think about the chemicals that we're actually putting on our body or eating or swallowing or anything like that? Your lotions, your shampoos, your body wash, things like that, those have got toxic chemicals that can really affect your body long term. The other one would be viruses. You have your flu viruses, you got your just common colds and things like that. You've got your stomach viruses. All those are going around and your body has to constantly fight those things off. So that would be considered a toxin within your body. The next one is pollution. Now, when I think of pollution, I'm thinking factories and diesel trucks, getting behind those on the way to work or something like that, something that stinks. But not all the time, okay? A lot of times we do not realize that a lot of our pollution is actually inside our own homes, and that could be the candles, that could be your Glade plugins or your Bath & Body Works plugins. Any of these things are considered toxic that we are taking in on a daily basis and not realizing it. Also, alcohol. Alcohol is not approved on the program. It is very toxic to the liver, so please make sure that you are staying away from that. It also raises your blood sugar. So alcohol is a no-no on the next 56 days. The last one we're going to talk about is drugs, okay? Now, I know you may be thinking that, oh, I know drugs are illegal. I would never take those, okay? Great. But a lot of times we're not looking at the prescription medications or even the over-the-counter medications. And when you look at the side effects, no matter whether it's a bottle of Tylenol or ibuprofen or anything like that, they all have side effects, okay? Those are considered toxic within your body. So there may be some things that we can do throughout our lifetime to make this a lifestyle change where we can alleviate some of those medications. Now, you will never have a coach tell you that you need to go off a medicine, okay? Especially if it's prescription. That is up to your doctor. You will not be told by us to do that. However, I do believe that there have been many people on the program who have done this, and they've changed their lifestyle. And because of that, they've been able to get off their blood pressure medications, their cholesterol medications, their diabetes medications, things like that because of their lifestyle change. So my question to you is, how often do we do these lifestyles that are not so great for us that make us do the medications that we have to take? Okay, so think about that. All right, so the toxins that we have in our body can actually develop over a long term and can cause issues later on in life. Symptoms of chronic toxicity: low energy, fatigue, muscle weakness, inability to concentrate, intestinal complaints. You may have experienced any of these and thought, well, I'm just not feeling good or something like that. But did you ever realize that it might be your body telling you that it is toxic and it's trying to get rid of these symptoms, okay? So if we all had a perfect life where we ate the best of the best food, we only drank water, we only took our supplements every single day, never ever forgot, we made sure that we were exercising 5 out of 7 days a week. If we were doing those on a daily basis, that would be perfect. But how often does that not happen, okay? Life gets in the way, we get busy and we forget, or we're in a rush, and we slide and we eat foods that are not approved, or maybe we didn't have time to get to the gym this morning, little things like that. That is what we're having to deal with on a daily basis. Again, those are things that create toxicity. All right, so how do the toxins enter the body? They don't just appear, okay? These are the main ways. You're gonna breathe it in. Think of all the smog. If you get behind somebody who is smoking and you're breathing that tobacco smoke in, you're breathing all these substances in. You could swallow it, whether that be your chemicals, your pesticides that are on your foods, or ladies, maybe you have some lipstick that has got some chemicals in it that every time you eat or you lick your lips, then you are ingesting those. Also absorbing. We don't think about this a lot, but when you absorb from your lotions or your shampoos, body wash, anything like that, it doesn't just stay on the surface of the skin. Those are actually absorbing into your skin. And once it gets in there, all these things are going into the blood. Now, once it goes into my blood, does it stop there? No, my blood circulates throughout my body. So that means whatever toxin is in my big toe is going to end up in my big head eventually, and then it's circulating back down, okay? So all that affects. Now, once it goes from the blood, you will find that it ends up in your bones, ends up in your brain, your glands, your liver, your kidneys, your heart, your fat, your muscle. All these things are affected by the toxins that are within your body. All right. So here's some examples of toxins that we live with on a daily basis. All right, I want you to imagine your own bathroom or your kitchen or someplace in your house where you've got your chemicals. Do you have like the Lysol cleaners, the Clorox, all this stuff that's supposed to make your house really, really clean? Okay, and let me ask you this. When you're using those chemicals, are you wearing gloves or are you just barehanded? Okay, so remember that. Those chemicals are absorbing into your skin, which are going again into your body. What's a way that we can do a non-toxic cleaner? Okay, so some of my favorites, I like to use white vinegar and water. Sometimes I'll use white vinegar and the rubbing alcohol together. I know I've got 2 ingredients, okay? Norwex is a good company where you can just use their rags or whatever they call them, and it's that and water, and they have been made to not create toxicity while you are cleaning, okay? The other one would be like bug sprays. Now, in the past, I've asked people in class, where do you keep your bug sprays? And probably 9 out of 10 times I am told that they keep this underneath the sink in the kitchen, okay? That is the closest place to your food source in the house. Why do we keep them there, okay? And I want you to think of the brand name for Raid. It says, kills bugs dead. When? Is it tomorrow? Is it 3 weeks from now? Is it a year from now? No, kills bugs dead on contact. Now think of the roach. The roach and the ant, they're 2 of the little critters that survived Hiroshima, but I can spray my Raid on there and it kills them dead on contact. Does that make you think? Okay, makes me think. What about our Glade? Or not, we won't just pick on Glade, but any of our aerosol fresheners, okay? We go to the bathroom and we don't want to stink it up, and so we start spraying all this stuff. Or, we have company coming in and we want to make sure that the house doesn't smell because the dog stinks at the moment, something like that. So you're spraying your whole house down, okay? Those are all toxic. I would much rather you do an essential oil where you can spray it throughout the house and it actually has health benefits at the same time. If you go to the bathroom, they have these poopery sprays all the time now, okay? So this is one that I actually keep in my bathroom. This is a 2-ounce glass bottle here. It's got essential oils in it. This one has got lemon and peppermint in it. And I just take that and I add some water to it. And then if anybody goes to the bathroom, they know in my house, you spray with this. It smells really good and it is not toxic, okay? Also, what about our detergents that we're washing our clothes in? Remember, if it is toxic and it is on our clothes are touching our skin all day long, which means that it is absorbing through there, okay? So there's several on the market that are non-toxic. I brought this one in just because this is local to North Carolina. This is Charlie's soap. This one is non-toxic and I like this one. And they had non-toxic cleaners at the same time. So check these out. Those are good. You can do DIY detergents, clothes detergents. You can 7th generation. A lot of times you get that at Target. That's a good brand also. So there's several of them out there that you can use that are non-toxic for your family. Definitely recommend those. All right, now let's think about our dryer sheets. Now we use our dryer sheets to lessen the static, add the smell to the clothes, things like that. But those have got toxins and chemicals inside the dryer sheets, okay? So again, they are absorbing into our clothes. We're wearing our clothes, it's touching our skin, we're absorbing it into our body. This is what I recommend instead, okay? These are 2 little wool balls. I've got these at Walmart for $4. They will last me forever, so it's a whole lot cheaper than me having to go out and buy dryer sheets all the time. If I want my clothes to smell really good, I just put a couple of drops of essential oil on both of the balls, put them in my dryer, and it dries up my clothes. I have no static. This is what I want you to do, okay? Very easy to do. Put those back. What about our lotions, okay? Now on the screen, you probably can't tell, but in the highlighted areas, you're gonna see the word paraben. Now most of the time when you see paraben, it's not gonna be just paraben. It'll say methyl paraben or something like that in the beginning of the word. Parabens are something that you will find in your, like if someone has cancer, when they do the biopsy, parabens are actually found in the tumors. So we want to make sure that we stay away from anything that has parabens in it. Now companies are getting really bold, okay? They want you to know if they are paraben free, and you will see on the front label, free of parabens or something like that. So when I'm going to the store and buying, lotions or shampoos or body wash, anything like that, I'm making sure that I'm looking for the word paraben free, and I think you need to be doing that too. Also, when you're looking at your lotions, you may have 50 different ingredients on the back of a lotion, okay? Most of them you probably can't pronounce or spell, at least I can't, and so I'm going to show you the way that I do mine. All right, I have 2 different ingredients. I've got the coconut oil and I've got the shea butter, okay? Both of these do not smell like anything. They are solid, and I will put equal quantities of both of these in either 2 places, either in a microwave in a glass bowl, or on my stovetop in a little pot, and melt those down. Stir them together so they're mixed well, okay? And then I'm going to put those in the refrigerator for about an hour. I want it to solidify, but not hard as a rock, okay? I want it to be just kind of formed, and you'll know when that consistency gets there. After that, you can put some essential oils in it. Now I'll tell you my 4 favorite in just a few minutes, but this is whipped body butter that I have made. And so again, it is the shea butter, coconut oil, and some essential oils. Once I have got my shea butter and my coconut oil solidified, I then take it out, get a hand mixer, and put it in there and whip it up. It whips up just like whipped cream or body butter that you've probably seen at stores and stuff. And then I put my essential oil in there, just a little bit, doesn't take much, and then that becomes my lotion, okay? I know exactly what is in my lotion, and this will last you forever. Doesn't take but just a little bit. Also, what about hand sprays, okay? You think of hand sanitizers, and that's got alcohol in it, very drying, and it kills all the bacteria, okay? I really don't want you killing all the bacteria, because I want you to be able to boost your immune system. This is my favorite. This is called Sentry Spray, and again, it's something that I make with the essential oils that we use in class. Your coaches are probably spraying off the scales with Sentry Spray, and so you may have smelled that cinnamon smell. It's got a really pretty Christmas smell to it, okay? But this makes a really good hand sanitizer, and it smells good, and I can keep this in my car. So after I've gone grocery shopping or something like that, I just spray my hands off, okay? Get some of the cooties off, especially this time of year. All right, so let's talk about these oils. Now, when I first got into oils a few years ago, I had a friend get me into it, and my husband said, okay, she's becoming the witch doctor now. She got all healthy, and now she's getting into the oils. And I thought, I don't want to be called the witch doctor. And my friend was telling me about, why shouldn't you use them? She said, we've been using them since Jesus' birth, and I started thinking about that, and I'm like, you know what? You are exactly right. There are so many healing properties, and these have been used for thousands of years. So I went out and I bought all these essential oils. Now, if you're doing essential oils, make sure that they are pure, okay? That is number one. Do not be going to Walmart and buying those essential oils. They are not pure, I promise you. But when you're doing the essential oils, what I found was I was combining mine with all these other things and trying to make something out of it. Dr. Strand has got his set of oils that I absolutely love, and these are the only ones that I really use now on a daily basis. There's 4 different ones, and I'll tell you about all of them. First one is Calm, okay? So I'm going to tell you on the screen here, we've got some of the benefits. So for sleeplessness, this is what my son actually uses every single night because he used to have a hard time sleeping through the night. So I put this in a little spray bottle, and he calls this his night-night spray. And we'll spray his little stuffed monkey and everything, holds on to the monkey, and then he goes to sleep. Teeth grinding. A lot of times people teeth grind and they don't realize it, but the next morning they may wake up and they may have pain in their jaws or headaches or anything like that. So you would take the Calm and actually put it on your jawline, and it helps alleviate the teeth grinding, which is great. Also, just a calming effect, anxiety, cold sores, things like that. You can always put these in diffusers, and they work out really good. Okay. My next one, this is Sentry. This is the one that I was just telling you about. It works really well as a hand sanitizer. It's also a great cleaner, so we use it on the scales. Some of the other things that we do with them, so it's antifungal, cold sores, shingles, ear infection, air pollution, toothache, sore throat. Let me tell you what I do with sore throats. So take the Sentry essential oil, and I combine it with the Carrier oil, which of course is my favorite, the coconut oil. Put it on the bottoms of your feet and massage it in. Go to bed at night, you use it during the day, whatever. That helps with sore throats. It also helps with flu symptoms. So this time of year, think about that. Mood lifter, upset stomach, and antibacterial. Now, out of the 4 oils that I'm talking to you about today, this is the only one out of those 4 that you can actually take by mouth. So you can put this in your water, and when you do that, it almost has, remember the old big red gum? That's what it tastes like, okay? Also, I have had people ask me this time of year that they're looking for cough drops, and they can't find cough drops that either doesn't have junk in it or has got a whole bunch of sugar in it. And so I'm going to tell you how to make my cough drops. So I take xylitol, which is our approved sweetener, put it in a double boiler, and I just let it sit. I don't stir it or anything else. It's going to melt. It's going to take a little bit longer to melt than what you are used to. When you melt sugar, it's just a few seconds. Xylitol takes probably, 10, 15 minutes, I'm guessing. But let that melt into a syrup, and then add about 3 or 4 drops to that. So I'm using, let me think, I'm probably typically about a half a cup of xylitol to 6 drops of the Sentry is what I'm using. And then after it's all melted, then I put it on a silicone splat pad, and within 2 minutes it's already hardened. It's very quick. And so after it's hardened, I can break those up in little pieces, and they call them ice chips. You can buy it. It's going to be about $5 or something in the store, but I make my own. It's just xylitol and my Sentry, and then I've got my ice chips. So it works well for sore throats or cough drops, or even if you just want a piece of hard candy, okay? Good alternative there. The other one I have here is ice, okay? And ice is actually the same lotion or the same essential oil that I use in my body butter lotion here. But ice is good for joint pain, back pain, headaches. For the headaches, you would put it on your forehead, your temples, okay? Even maybe on the back of your neck. Also, hot flashes, you put it on the back of your neck, cool you off in an instant. Coughing. So coughing, you would put it on your chest and back, okay? And it will alleviate that. Sinuses, okay? So this is one of the things that I do for sinuses, all right? This is actual an essential oil nasal inhaler. And it has, you open up the bottom here, it's got a little wick. So I put just a few little drops on those, and then anytime that I feel congested or, I need to concentrate, anything like that, then I breathe this in. Plug up one side of my nose and breathe it in, and it just opens you up. and this lasts forever. So this is one of my absolute favorites, okay? You can put ice or Escape in this, and it will help with the sinuses and helping with congestion. Also helps with the mental alertness. Now the Escape, this is another favorite of mine. This is one that you would consider would be a de-stressor, okay? So you can put this in the essential oils, you can put it in diffusers, things like that. But the Escape is good for burns too. We're doing a lot of cooking in this class, so hopefully you have not burned yourself. But if you have, this works really well just to rub it on that burn area and kind of cools that. It's really good for bug bites, stings. My daughter had 3 wasps that stung her a few years ago when I started using this, and got her little shoulder, and she was all swollen up. Put that on there and it took it off just almost instantly. Skin rashes or irritations, shingles, headaches, again, forehead and temples, sinuses, ear infection, anxiety, mood lifter, focus, detoxifier, lice, and it also helps with the teeth grinding when you put it on the jawbone. So lots of health benefits. There's not anything on that list that I just mentioned to you that these 4 essential oils don't do. So these are my go-tos. Instead of going out and buying 30 different essential oils at one time, those are the ones that I use on a daily basis. All right, now let's talk about the parabens. I just told you that was actually a cause of cancer, that cancer has been shown to find the parabens in their tumors, okay? Now you see on this module here that there is a lady and she is putting on deodorant. So all deodorants that have the antiperspirant in it, you're going to find parabens in there, okay? So a lot of times they have the parabens, and they also have heavy metals. Now when you think of breast cancer and you think of lymph nodes and things like that, you're applying the antiperspirants right underneath your armpits that is closest to your lymph nodes. So then you have a lady who comes in and she's just found out, unfortunately, that she has breast cancer. And then the doctor says, you know what, you don't need to use an antiperspirant anymore. My question is, why do we wait until after we have been diagnosed to tell these patients, don't use this anymore? Why don't we start telling them beforehand, you don't need to be using it? So I'm telling you now, I would prefer you not to use it. It would be in your best interest. I understand we don't like to sweat. I am a fitness instructor. I sweat a lot. I do understand that. But I also want you to know that sweating is a natural way to detox. I don't want you to stink, okay? I don't want to get behind you and you're stinking. But I do want you to sweat, and I think that's really important. Phthalates, okay? Now this has got a funny P word you can see up there. Phthalates work as softeners in personal care products such as cosmetics and shampoos, as well as flexible plastics like children's toys. So think of the toddlers and that they're chewing on these toys all the time. And a lot of times those will have the phthalates in it. But they are thought to mimic and displace hormones and interrupt their production. And this can have a wide range of unpleasant effects. Okay, so how on earth do we stay away from the phthalates? First of all, we're going to stay away from things that we see in our ingredients like fragrance and parfum. Now in the past we've always looked at that and said, oh, that's just what makes it smell good, but realize the phthalates is in there. Also, look for plastics with codes 1, 2, 4, and 5, okay? You will see that on your water bottles. They'll have a little triangle, and most of the water bottles that I've ever seen have a number 1 on it. So 1 is safe, but 1, I want you to put in your brain, 1 equals one-time use only. Don't continue to refill and refill and refill. You use it that one time, and then you put it back in the recycling bin, okay? So make sure you use those. Also, when I think of plastic bottles and water bottles especially, let's say it's July, I go to the gas station. How often do we see cases upon cases of water outside, okay? Now it might be 100 degrees outside, plus you have the sunshine beaming down on those water bottles. And the plastic is leaching into the water from the heat, okay? So please be aware of that. I would recommend that when you are doing your water, that you make sure that you have a water bottle that's got a good water filter to it. At home, I use the Brita water filter. There's water filters that you can have put onto your faucets and things at home. This is my water bottle. I don't know if you can see this or not, but there is a white thing here on the bottom. That is actually a water filter, okay? So my water bottle, and you can get these from any of your coaches, but my water bottle is good for 450 water bottles. And when I think of how much water I drink and how much water we're telling you to drink, that is actually a really good investment, because 450 water bottles, that's a bunch, okay? So take care of the environment and ourselves at the same time. Also, when you are doing food containers, I would recommend you doing like a glass food container or silicone, metal, something like that, stainless steel. That's going to be a lot better than you doing plastic. Let's say I have leftovers that night and I need a place to put it. First of all, if I am using plastic, make sure it's BPA free. But let's say I have leftovers and I stick it in the microwave, okay? How many of you at home have got plastic containers that are either stained from like spaghetti sauce and stuff like that, or they started melting in the microwave and they start looking wimpy wumpy looking, all that stuff? Okay, so I know I'm not the only one that's had that in the past. I know some of you have that in your home. But I want you to think about that. If the heat from the microwave was able to melt that plastic, where do you think that plastic went? My guess is that it probably went in your food. So one of my resolutions a couple of years ago was stop using plastic. Now I'm going to do glass. I love to use mason jars. They stack well, they don't take up a lot of room, and I can use that for my leftovers, and then I can stick it in the microwave if I need to. They freeze well, so I like my mason jars. All right, EWG.org. This is a good website that you can look up, and this will actually give you a rating and whether the items that you are using in your household, if they are considered toxic or less toxic or anything like that. So look this one up when you have a chance. Okay, so what should you do to help expose yourself to the toxins in our foods? First of all, consider buying organic. Now, organic is very expensive, and it is not in everybody's budget, and I do realize that, okay? If you are buying organic, my recommendation is for you to buy the foods that you know that you're going to eat almost immediately, okay? If it's something you're not going to buy not going to eat until next week, don't buy that organic, because there's no preservatives in it, and it's going to go bad pretty quick. My favorite things to buy organic is things that I'm going to be able to freeze. So I love to put frozen strawberries and frozen blueberries in my Pure Nourish shakes every morning, or for lunch, or whenever I'm going to have it. But I make sure I buy those organic, and that way they're frozen, and I know how they are, but I know it's going to last me longer too. I don't have to worry about it going bad. Also, you can buy the dried beans, the legumes, the grains, things like that. Shop your local farmers market and get to know your farmers. Ask them, hey, what do you put on your crops when you're growing them? Or even better, grow your own, because then you know exactly what you have put on them. And I think that's really good. Wash and peel your produce. So please do this, okay? So the average apple out there is 10 months old before you get it. Now, how many times do you think that thing's been touched? Or you got some little spotty kid going like this and then picking up your apple. And then you could be like my husband. I'm going to make fun of him, but he'll take an apple, do like this, and then bite into it. Do you think any of those cooties actually came off? No, probably not. Please wash your produce, okay? I like to put all my produce, vegetables and fruit, in a big bowl of water, or if a good clean sink, whichever one you want to do. Fill it up with water. You can put anywhere from a quarter to a half a cup of white vinegar, depending on how big your bowl is. Put your produce in there, let it sit for about 15-20 minutes. Take it out, rinse it out, let it air dry, or you can, pat it dry with a towel, whatever you need to do, and then it's ready to go. No, it will not make your foods taste pickled. We're putting them in there 10 or 15 minutes, not 10 or 15 hours, okay? So it's okay, I promise you. Even your strawberries will not taste pickled. All right, so how toxins can cause you to gain weight and what you can do about it, okay? So now you finally paid attention. You mean all these toxins could make me gain weight? And the answer is yes. So I'm going to read you a paragraph. This came from the American Association of Neuropathic Physicians, and it says, when you carry toxins, excess stress hormone, and inflammation, your body seeks to protect you from that. The older you get, the greater load you have accumulated over time. You reach a threshold at some point where your biochemistry begins to drive towards fat production as a protective mechanism against the noxious accumulations. Now, where to put it? It has to be somewhere safe where you don't burn it everyday activity. the belly. Perfect. Okay, so when we start gaining weight, typically where are we gaining it? Right here at the belly area. Okay, now God created us to have fat. We all have to have some type of fat as protection. That's what protects our vital organs. But some of us have gone overboard with that. Okay, so realize that all the fat that we have, that is where those toxins are stored. Okay, so let's go down again. The presence of toxins can reprogram your DNA to change your biochemistry to produce fat. On the flip side, the elimination of toxins can also drive DNA reprogramming back to normal and away from fat production. What does that mean to you? That means you have got to detox and you have got to get rid of the toxins within your body. This is a diagram. On the left, there is a person that is 240 pounds. On the right, there's a person that is 120 pounds. Okay, so I don't want you to look at these two people and assume that the person on the right is healthy, because just because you are skinny does not mean you are healthy. You could be considered what they say is skinny fat. Okay, before this program, I considered myself being skinny fat because my inflammation was so bad that I had a hard time picking up my child that was 3 years old at the moment. He was so heavy that I thought I was going to drop him, just me. Okay, or I could be walking across my den floor and I would be perfectly fine, and then all of a sudden I felt like I had lightning bolts going through both of my ankles at the same time. It would stop me in my tracks. That was inflammation. Fortunately, because of this program and because of my food and because of the supplements that I take on a daily basis, I have not been bothered with that for over 4 years now. Okay, so I want to look at this diagram here. The person on the left, if you will see the white part, that is actually fat. Okay, look at the heart on the left versus the heart on the right. You see the enlarged heart on the left. Also, all the fat on the left is around that the vital areas, the vital organs on the left side, and all of those are being pressed. So this person on the left is carrying a lot more toxins than the person on the right. When we talk about visceral fat, okay, so visceral fat is the hard fat that goes around the vital organs. So we've all got that subcutaneous fat, and then the visceral fat is behind the subcutaneous fat. So if we take our hand, okay, let's say this is my kidneys functioning, whatever, okay, and it's functioning, it's moving, it's doing what God intended it to do, and all of a sudden I cover it up with the visceral fat, okay? Can I wiggle my fingers like I'm supposed to? No. If this was my kidneys or my heart or whatever, would it be functioning the way God intended it to do? No. But as soon as I start releasing the visceral fat off my body, all of a sudden I can move my fingers again, okay? All of a sudden my kidneys are functioning better and my blood pressure starts going down. My heart isn't having to pump so hard. Little things like that make a difference, but we have to get rid of the toxins. We also have to get rid of the visceral fat. All right, so 4 steps to get rid of toxic waste. 4 steps, I think I can do that. That is the reason why I love this program so much, because it is so simple. Pee, poop, perspire, and breathe. You can do that too. I hope you've done all of them today. All right, so pee. How can I pee? What do I need to look at when I pee? When I'm looking at my pee, and yes, I do want you to look at your pee, make sure it's a pale yellow, okay? Make sure that you pee pretty frequently, okay? That means that you're getting your water intake. If I look down and my toilet is a dark yellow, then that could mean I'm dehydrated. So I need to make sure that I'm getting half of my body weight in water, in ounces of water on a daily basis. A good goal is let's make sure that we get 2 bottles of water before lunch and 2 bottles of water after lunch, okay? That's a good goal to have on a daily basis. Pooping. Yes, we talk about pooping. We call that caca around here. We need to make sure that we have 1 to 2 well-formed bowel movements on a daily basis. That is optimal fat release when you can get your body to do that. Okay, so how can I do that? This is a little bit of review, but we want to make sure that we have our fiber intake. 30 grams of fiber on a daily basis. That is equivalent to 8 to 10 servings of vegetables and fruit. Focus more on the vegetables than the fruit because of the sugar content. Your Smooth Move tea or Senna tea, you can get those at any grocery store. Take that 4 to 7 nights in a row in the evenings. And then hopefully by the next morning, within an hour after you wake up, you should be able to have a good bowel movement. Psyllium husk, that is just natural fiber therapy. Psyllium husk comes either in a capsule or a powder. If you're taking the capsule, make sure you take the capsule, drink water. A capsule, drink water. A capsule, drink water. Why am I saying that? Because it is fiber and I need to flush it out of my body. Okay, so another good way to get that water content in. Magna-Cal D. Magna-Cal D is a great supplement. It is actually one of my very favorites. This is one of the supplements that your coaches can get you. This is magnesium, calcium, and vitamin D all together. So 80% of the population is actually deficient in magnesium, okay? And a lot of times we go out and we go to CVS, we go wherever, and we buy a magnesium. And then we go out and we buy calcium. And then we go out and we buy vitamin D because we had a vitamin D deficiency. That was me in the past, okay? So we're doing all three of these things. Well, the issue is that if magnesium and calcium are not perfectly balanced, it will absorb into your arteries, and you don't want to do that, okay? You want it absorbed in your bones. So the Magna-Cal D is an equal balance, perfect balance of magnesium, calcium, and vitamin D. Now, how do I know if I'm getting too much magnesium? It would give me diarrhea. How do I know if I'm getting too much calcium? It could give me constipation, okay? I don't want either one of those. What we have found on this program is that the people who have the magnesium deficiency, a lot of times those are the ones who are having the issue of being able to go caca on a daily basis. And they start getting that magnesium supplement within their body and they are able to go, okay? Is it time for you to go? Think about that one. And of course, make sure that you are increasing your water because that is going to make your bowel movement softer and easier to expel. Okay, perspiration. So your skin is the largest organ of elimination, all right? Now I want you to think of the rest of your body. If I'm outside right now and a bug flies in my eye, what's the first thing that's gonna happen? My eye's gonna water. What was it doing? It was trying to detox the bug. Let's say I get the stomach bug, okay? Heaven forbid, let's not do that. But if I did, first thing my body would do was probably vomiting and diarrhea. What is it trying to do? It's trying to detox it from the viruses, okay? Our body was created to detox naturally. So now when we exercise and we start sweating, that is also a natural way to detox. I would like for you to exercise typically 5 days out of the week. Use 2 days for rest and for repair, but see if you can be able to exercise for about 30 minutes a day, okay? Even if you are not to the point where you can go out and run around the block or anything like that, but can you walk, okay? You can't walk. Can you sit in your chair and do chair exercises? Can you do something throughout the day where your body is moving and where your heart rate has increased? And that is all a great way to detox. I would like for you to break a sweat, okay? All right, here's another one. Breathe, okay? So everybody take a deep breath in. How many of you passed, okay? So a lot of times I tell people to take a deep breath in, and this is what I see. What happened to my shoulders? They went straight up, okay? That is not a deep breath. When you take a deep breath, you need to go from your diaphragm. Press your diaphragm out and then back in, okay? So take a deep breath again. And out. Did you not feel your lungs actually expand? When we are taking a deep breath, that is helping to detoxify our lungs. And this is really good for us to do. If you can do this, like deep breathing exercises for about 5 minutes a day, it's amazing how much better you will feel and how much more relaxed you will feel too. Think of the little babies. When you see a little baby napping, okay? Are they breathing like this? No, they're not. They've got that deep breath in their belly. They have no cares in the world. They know mom and daddy are going to feed them. They're going to change their diaper, and that's all they need, okay? And so we need to get to the point, too, where we are exercising our lungs just like that. All right, Restorix. This is what Dr. Strand calls his detox in a bottle, okay? This is a supplement that your coaches have. You can do the 28-day dose, I should say. And also the coaches have a 7-day dose. The 7-day dose is $29.99. We use this in class as a plateau buster. You can also use this if you are feeling just kind of tired and kind of sluggish. That's normally when I start taking mine. Or if you have been around anyone who's sick, or if you feel like you're getting sick, My secret in my household is if anybody tells me they have a sore throat, or if I see a cough coming on or something like that, and I'm the mama, so I'm taking care of them, first thing I do is start detoxing, okay? Because everybody in the family can get sick and mama has to take care of them. Mama gets sick and nobody cares. Mama, have you noticed that before? So this is my little miracle in a bottle here. This has got charcoal and zeolite in it, and it also has superfoods. So if I was to have a drug overdose right now, they would take me to the emergency room, they would give me charcoal. The charcoal would naturally dehydrate my body. Okay, so now I got another problem. This has got the charcoal and the zeolite and the superfoods, so it's nourishing my body at the same time that it's detoxifying my body. But it basically goes in and it gets rid of all the heavy metals, the toxins, the viruses, things like that, and it acts like Pac-Man. You know, it's like going down the body. It's like, and then you expel it through your caca. Okay, that's how it comes out. If you are taking the Restorix, you need to make sure that you are taking it in the evening. It works the best at the evening. You can do a double dose. You can do it in the mornings and the evenings, but it needs to be on empty stomach. If you're taking it in the evenings, we want you to take it right before you go to bed and have a 2-hour difference between this and your prescription medications. Also, when you are taking it, make sure that you stir it with a wooden or a plastic spoon. Do not stir it with the metal spoon because, again, it's getting rid of heavy metals, and you're stirring this with this metal spoon. Not a good thing. But this is a great detox that I recommend for everyone to do, especially if you have hit that plateau. Really think you'll make a difference with that one. All right, here's what I'm going to leave you with. Your body is a temple, but how long can you live in that same house before you start decorating? I have a feeling you've been redecorating lately. So I just want to tell you congratulations, and you continue to make those great choices. All right, y'all have a great week.